issues regarding health, and to be more specific, creating awareness. Autism. Now, many times you've heard of the word autism. Many times people have gone with their children and they're told such a word. Now, you may understand that very few people have information about this. Now, I'm not the expert, but I have Mutawe Aloysius, who happens to be a pediatric occupational therapist and the director that is Golden Bamboo Special Children's Center. You're most welcome.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you so much for having me today. We truly appreciate the management of UBC. My name is Aloysius Mutawe. I am an occupational therapist working in a pediatric range for the last close to 9 years now. Yes, similarly, I am the director of Golden Bamboo Special Children's Center, a place where we do take care of children, manage them, and treat them, those children living with a condition called autism. And yes, Robert, that's what brings me up today to discuss.
Now, you called it a condition, children living with autism. Help us understand, our viewer, when you talk about autism, what exactly is autism?
Wow. Autism, I'm very sure this is a condition that so many people out there may have seen, but possibly do not have a lot of information about. Autism is, to be specific, a lifelong neurodevelopmental disorder or condition that affects a child's development of communication skills, behavior, sometimes sensory functioning, and their social interaction skills. Now, to break it down further, when we say a lifelong condition, it means a child lives with it for their lifetime. That is one thing. Another thing that we need to note when we mention it's a neurodevelopmental disorder, that means it emerges at early childhood, but affects the functioning of the brain. In medical language, anything to do with neurodevelopment, it means something that affects a child's functioning of the brain and the spinal cord. So in this particular case, this condition we're talking about today affects a child's brain's functioning, and that is how a child comes up like to struggle in some things that you would have expected any normally developing child to be performing. In actual sense, this condition we are discussing today, autism, as it emerges during childhood, it manifests with a variety of symptoms and severity. Like you will find very many children, they are all diagnosed with the same condition, autism, but they are presenting differently. That means different symptoms are manifesting in them. Also, those symptoms will manifest at different severity levels. That is the reason it is called a spectrum. So, it is actually called autism spectrum disorder. And the word spectrum is derived from the fact that it manifests with a wide range of symptoms and severity.
Okay,
yes, so
now
that is autism.
Having defined autism for our viewer, let's also understand how big is the problem at a country level. Why? Because sometimes you may have a situation and you think you're alone. What is the prevalence when you talk about this autism or a condition termed as autism?
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Robert, for that question. Just like in the beginning I mentioned, very many people may have met this condition out there, but probably do not know what is going on with their children. Now, how bad is this problem? So far, what we know about, the World Health Organization estimates a prevalence of autism to almost 2% of the world's children's population. That means everywhere you find 100 children, at least 2 of them will have this condition. And what at some point is surprising, the prevalence in boys is quite higher, almost 4 times than the like how it can happen in children, in girls. It happens 4 times in boys than it happens in girls. That means where you find 4 children with autism are boys and 1 child with autism is a girl. So the World Health Organization estimates that prevalence globally. What makes it quite alarming lately, we need to note that the Centers for Disease Control, that is an organization in the United States of America that has done so well with research and everything in health. So the Centers for Disease Control has noted an increasing trend of the appearances of autism in children since 2012. This has been on an increase. Unfortunately, in Uganda and Africa at large, we need to note that there is very limited data about the prevalences of autism. Not only prevalence, but all other situations around autism. We have very limited data about that. However, what we have to note is the latest estimations here in Uganda are putting autism still at that rate of 2%. Where you find 100 children, at least 2 will be having that condition. Unfortunately here, the National Population and Housing Census, it is, I think, the institution responsible for the statistics here.
Maybe just sorry to interject. Well, anytime we may switch to a live broadcast, that is the Uganda Water and Environment Week. And then that means, yes, we may have another day for my guest in studio. So anytime we receive that feed, if it comes in early than expected, the Uganda Water and Environment Week 2025 will be heading there. As soon as I'll be notified by my technical team, then we shall be heading there. But for now, we are still discussing issues regarding autism, and I have Aloysius Mutawe with me in studio. So in case you see that change, we shall be heading to the Uganda Water and Environment Week 2025. Yes, we can continue.
Yes, I was telling you the National Population and Housing Census here does not provide specific prevalence details about autism, but only generalized statistics about disability, where autism falls. So unfortunately here we do not have that data. Yes.
Well, we shall end at that. I have to go to Ruzira now, where there is the Uganda Water and Environment Week that has started. We'll be having my guest sooner than later. Have a lovely day for now.
Team from the Ministry of Water and Environment, our members of the